Hey everybody, Ryan here with CRKT, and we got Bryce in the building. We're excited to show you our new 2026 line. We have our amazing design roster coming out with new innovative product that we cannot wait to share with you. Bryce, take it away.
Wow, it's already been a whole year around the sun. 365 days, and we're back doing this. This is awesome. As fun as always, we're gonna start off with the Provoke X.
Yes.
So Provoke X, we kind of launched this about a year ago. We started talking about this this new pocket-friendly morphing tactical tomahawk that fits in your pocket, designed by Joe Caswell.
Yes.
Joe Caswell, obviously everybody's very familiar with the Provoke. He looked at the traditional karambit and saw an engineering solution to an age-old issue with folding karambits and how they fold over your hand. And he solved that. The Provoke X is very similar. He set out with a goal, an engineering goal, and that's how we ended up with this final product.
How many iterations?
I think it was Rev like 94.3.
Yeah.
Joe is just such a meticulous thinker. It's really fun to talk to him and see his theories and how he kind of approaches design. So different. Everybody in the knife world designs so differently, and that's what's so much fun, but Joe really does seem to stand uniquely alone. So really cool design. Up top, you're gonna have two cutting edges, the main blade up front with the main spike. Both these blades are SU-J2 steel, which is kind of a new steel we've been using.
Yeah.
It formerly had found its life in like industrial ball bearings and has moved over. So that naturally lends itself to kind of high hardness and toughness, edge retention. We rock weld this one a little bit lower than it normally does. Normally you can rock weld it a lot higher, but to make sure that it can still take impacts, it's rock weld a little bit lower. So really cool new use case for that. To secure the blades, we're actually using a deadbolt. So
shout out Flavio.
Flavio Icoma, the man, the myth. He's developed so many different systems for us. IKBS ball bearings were one of his inventions. The deadbolt lock, which is one of the strongest and simplest locks on the market, and utilizing it in a CRKT product. That's what's so cool about CRKT. We get multiple designers wedged into one product and working together to make something really cool, and we've done that in spades with the Provoke X. It folds up really simply. You push the button on the back, and the two blades will actually fold into the scissoring arms there and hide away neatly.
And the safety re-engages automatically.
Yep, you get your safety re-engaged. You've got a pocket clip on this side, and it fits really, really easily in your pocket to deploy. Safety off, little flick, and you got both blades.
All right.
You're ready for action.
Love it.
So really cool. We're very excited to have this as a follow-up to the Provoke X, or the original Provoke. We have the Provoke X, and who knows, what is Caswell going to design next?
I'm sure he's already thinking about it.
I can't even contemplate it. I didn't have this one pictured when he showed it to us, so it was amazing. I remember the first time he saw this. Remember at SHOT Show?
SHOT Show
in a closet.
In the closet. yeah.
And it just made me giggle, and it still does. Every time you throw that blade, it just puts a smile on your face.
So awesome. So this was technically a 2025 release, even though we kind of had a soft launch as we're running through the back half of 25. So really, we want to talk about it in 26 because this is when we're going to get most of the inventory product out in the market. Still want to talk about it because this is probably one of the coolest, best innovations we've probably ever come up with.
It's really cool. Yeah, really excited about this. Check it out. You find it anywhere at a retailer near you.
Yes.
Provoke X.
Love it. X. Okay, well, we're going to stick with some 2026 product now. We have a new twist tie, and this is designed by Brian Tighe. This is going to be a entirely aluminum body, and it has the double action auto, OTF, which is super cool. This is US manufactured, and what I really like about this model is extremely lightweight, also has this really aggressive wicked tonto to it. So I think it really lends itself kind of to the overall aesthetic and look of the knife. Has this really flowy pattern on the handle, then has that really cool wicked edge, and obviously super fidgety and fun.
Yeah.
So
I love that Brian Tighe design. We've used his kind of like general pattern, that sort of general milling pattern on other knives. And we got that on the original twist ties and when we had the fat carbon. This one's cool that we took it to all aluminum, and then that juxtaposition of that extreme American tonto.
Look at that.
It's so wicked. I love how it comes to that needle point, but really excited to be working with Brian Tighe. And these are great how small they are. They really disappear in the pocket, but do everything you need to. And obviously,
yeah, so if you're looking for an automatic, an OTF that, is lightweight, compact, can, hide in your pocket really nicely, this is it. I mean, it is super cool, super lightweight, obviously has that Brian Tighe flair, but also, is definitely wicked.
Very cool.
Yep. sticking with OTFs.
No, moving on.
What do you got, Bryce?
So next up, this is the Xolotl
Ooh.
OTF, designed by Michael Rodriguez.
Okay.
The Xolotl is a part of our Forged by War program, which we've been working with veterans for a number of years. They design products that they wish they had when they were deployed. We've had a lot of really cool products come out of it.
Yeah, we have.
Michael has designed a couple different items for us, the Tech Podle and the Xolotl.
Yep.
Michael, if you're not familiar, is the president of the Global War on Terror Memorial Foundation, a really cool foundation that will be breaking ground in Washington this year to create a memorial for all the global war on terror conflicts and all the brave men and women who served in those conflicts. A portion of the proceeds of all of these knives will go to that foundation, and we feel very honored to be a part of that and excited for Michael that they're starting to break ground.
That's
it's
super
a really
cool.
big deal.
It's been a long time coming.
Really big deal. I know he's been planning for a long time. Please go check out the foundation. It's a very good, very worthwhile foundation. We're very excited to be a part of it. This knife really takes a lot of the DNA from his past designs, more spear point. I think as we evolved, what was interesting about Michael's, his first product was all tactical, meant to be used in theater, you know, with a handgun by its side. The Tech Podle.
Yep.
From there, he evolved, and we got the Xolotls, which I think kind of matched his evolution into a suit and working in Washington. It was something that still has that tactical edge, but isn't afraid to be in a suit, which I think is really interesting. Same thing with this version. So we got a huge spear point blade, double-edged. Just really comes to a really wicked needle point there on the top.
Yeah, it is.
Magna cut steel. Obviously, it's an OTF, so it'll throw the blade up and forward. Really great. Beyond that, the whole body is going to be aluminum. We have these kind of crenulated surfaces here, which could be used as a strike surface in a pinch.
The butt end.
Same thing on the back there. We could call that, I think in World War I, they would call these skull crushers.
Okay.
That was
Bleep that out.
I think so. It's a funny term that sticks with us for a while. Other points on this too, we've got these kind of design on the handle, which will be reminiscent of his other designs and kind of harkens to his connection with Dios de los Muertos and his heritage there. Really cool combination of his service and kind of cultural heritage all mashed up into one. Awesome. We partner with Hogue in Nevada to do all of our American-made out the fronts. We're very happy about the relationship we have with them, and this is a great knife, and we'll support a great cause. So I encourage everybody, please go check out the Global War on Terror Memorial Foundation. It's a great cause, and please look forward, if you're in the DC area in 2026, you'll see some construction in that area, which is very exciting. So.
Awesome. So let me see this model compared to our twist tie that we were just talking about. You can see that the size comparison. So if you want more of a full size OTF, we'll go with the Xolotl. And then if you want more of that compact, lightweight, you know, kind of more organic looking OTF, I'd go with the twist tie. So you can see the size comparison here. So really there's an option for anybody.
Yeah, two great options.
Yep, so I wanted to show the size comparison. Bryce, what do you got here?
Yeah, so this is also another fun little piece that we have that's hung around our office for a long time.
Yeah,
but speaking of Michael Rodriguez and his kind of connections in the world, ex-President George Bush is really into painting in his retirement. He's painted a lot of people he finds inspirational, and Michael is one of those people. Really, we're very fortunate to work with all our designers and all the veterans in our Forged by War program.
Well. Look at that, CRKT team. Signed by Michael Rodriguez.
Yeah.
April 2017.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah. Really cool. We're really lucky to work with all the Forged by War designers. Yeah. It's a fun program, and we keep getting cool stuff like the Xolotl OTF.
Yes, sir.
So, more in the works there.
All right. Next, who we have is Mr. Ken Onion himself.
Ken Onion.
Yeah, so Ken's been working with us for several years. He's obviously super well known in the industry. He's always coming out with great products. And the Counterpart is an amazing EDC. You can see here that it has glass reinforced nylon handles. It has 12C 27 blade steel with this nice Ken Onion kind of spear point, but it kind of has more of that belly that Ken likes to use. Super fidgety here with the crossbar lock. There's no finger flipper or thumb stud on this particular model, so it's just opening with the flick of a wrist and the compression of the crossbar lock. You can see that you can flip the pocket clip around. Nice simple pocket clip, and just a great EDC that, I mean, this has found its way into my pocket countless times in the past month since I've been carrying the 2026 line. I just really, really like this model.
Me too. Super lightweight, really innovative too, the way that we handled the liners on this. Further back the scale, you touched on this, it was all glass reinforced nylon, which is going to have a like a square pattern in there to reinforce it. The liners only go back about a third to support the locking mechanism, so it keeps it really lightweight. That's yeah, a really nice feature there.
That's cool.
So it gives you all the lightweight needs there, but you still have a lot of cutting ability. You know, you'd have to overcome this lock, which you're probably you're cutting incorrectly at that point. So I love the slim design, really Ken Onion design here too. Like, kind of looks like a lot of his other designs where you have that kind of faux bolster. And you move back here where you have that kind of cross-hatched milling, which provides a lot of grip.
And then I think we've said in the past, Ken likes to pull inspiration from movies and cinema. And the inspo behind this was kind of that Bond special agent look.
Yeah.
So,
totally. Yeah, it kind of reminds me of like all the Tom Clancy books I used to read when I was a kid. Just kind of secret agent. This is a great partner. It's going to disappear in your pocket, but when you need it, it's there for you. It's going to handle everything. I love how he thinks outside of that. You have to think outside of it. So many knives have been made at this point. We've made so many knives at this point.
Yeah.
And so to kind of break outside of that, I love to see how he kind of thinks in that sort of like movie styling. And I've heard other designers who use similar kind of prompts, I guess, to kind of make them think outside the box.
Yep. Yep. So that is going to be the satin blade with the black handle. We also have this kind of smoke blue grayish handle with the black hardware. You can see that it's completely blacked out with the clip and pivot, and also frame screws. And then we have this robin eggs blue / aqua color.
I was gonna go seafoam green, but
seafoam green.
I'm pretty
okay.
limited with my colors. I was only a small box of crayons kid. I didn't get the full variety, so my adjectives are limited.
Not the 96 pack box or the 120
with a sharpener.
Oh, yeah.
Always jealous of that kid.
Yeah, I know. Anyways, yes, aqua.
Sure.
Seafoam green.
We'll meet in the middle.
All right, and then this is probably, I really like this model, but I'm a thumb stud guy. So I really like this version because you do have your thumb stud for opening. Also, you do have your crossbar lock, but I just love having a thumb stud just available. This one also has this kind of aggressive Tonto look to it, all blacked out. These are all 4 lined up. This is the Counterpart by Mr. Onion. Super excited about these. Had a great response so far, about a month into it.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, really cool knife.
All right, what else you got? I think we got some more Ken on the table.
I don't think we're done with the youngest inductee into the Knife Hall of Fame, Ryan.
Ooh, mic drop.
We're still out in the great state of Hawaii talking about Ken Onion. This is the Scar. So Scar is a slim knife overall, very slim. And we're going to talk a lot about the similarity in DNA across designs. I love it when you start talking with somebody, you start selling them a knife and they'll key in on the CEO and then they key in on a SACE. And you're like, you got a style. You like Richard Rogers. And then you can kind of go from there.
Yep.
Like, you obviously like the clean designs, and that's usually what happens too with Ken's knives. So this is the Scar. It's going to have a D2 blade up front. So D2, really tough steel. All the carbides in there are going to make it hold a really nice edge. Ken's got a great analogy for carbide heavy steels. It's like if you had a cake, one cake, it's got chocolate chips that don't melt, and another cake that does not have chocolate chips. If you were to take a cut of that and pull it away, the carbides would essentially be like the chocolate chips, and that's what D2 has. So it's going to have those heavier carbides, where another steel that doesn't have that will take a thinner edge. Really cool. I love that analogy.
Holy.
He dropped that one on me and it made so much sense.
Yeah.
Further back, we got aluminum scales, which have got the similar milling to the,
kind of like
we're talking to the
Counterpart.
The Counterpart there. It's got that kind of faux bolster up front, the milling towards the back, which kind of are reminiscent of more of a classic design. Ken loves to mash the modern with the older styling.
It has really nice texturing because it's aluminum.
Yeah.
You know, it feels really good.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It gives you really good grip on there, really positive grip, lets you know where you are with the knife. And then we have some sort of emerald green accents too. All the liners, the back spacer, as well as the clip got that kind of emerald green treatment there.
That's pretty.
It's a liner lock on bearings too, so really flicks open simply with the flipper opening there. And then the flipper will actually expose itself and work a bit as kind of like a finger guard there for you. Ken loves to do that, using the flippers not only as something to deploy the knife, but then as an added feature once it is deployed. And that's really cool. Ken does such a good job of making the knife look pretty when closed and open.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of the Crossbones a little bit.
Totally.
Kind of has that similar DNA that Jeff Park did,
Yeah.
Who works for Ken Onion. You know, kind of that almost fillet style knife,
Yeah.
sleek, longer, kind of more stretched out.
Totally. I definitely agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really excited about the scar. It's going to be a really cool knife.
All right.
From Mr. Ken Onion.
Mr. Onion. Okay, next we're moving on to Richard Rogers. Richard has done our CEO line, which has been wildly successful. He is just a master of geometry, also just coming out with just clean, simple EDC knives. And so we have the Sero. So the Sero is super cool. First thing that jumped out to me when I saw it was these angel wings.
Yeah.
Yeah, just super unique. Gives it kind of like a really cool aesthetic just straight away.
Reminds me of like a classic Indian motorcycle. That's kind of the first thing that went to me.
I think you hit the nail on the head. That's literally, I was trying to pinpoint exactly what this reminded me of, and that's it. So opening, it just has this really rounded out finger tab, so super subtle, but still obviously extremely useful, just kind of a push there. It opens up really smoothly. You also have your kind of smaller shrunk down crossbar lock. Super fidgety to open, so you can open it either way. You can see that you can reverse the pocket clip on each side. This is going to be the satin with the black, and we also have 3 other colorways. This one's super cool, just the all blacked out version. I mean, that just looks clean. Love how that looks. Also, we have this kind of burnt red, I guess Sierra color. I think works really well with the like the contrast with the black hardware. I think looks really clean and nice. And then we have our seafoam green with the satin blade, so you can see all 4 here.
Yeah.
Super clean lineup. This does have S35VN blade steel, so just that really standard, kind of more upgraded blade steel, obviously super well known in the market. You know, so going with a little bit more premium option on the blade steel. Anything else to add? I mean, these are just clean.
My big thing, I love how they did the liners on these. Yeah. Well, excuse me, Ryan. I love how they did the liners on these. They really did. This is kind of progressive. They only have the liners going across the top edge of the knife, so saving weight is always kind of key when it comes to liners. We'll have some that have kind of full inserts, which stiffen up the knife completely. But the way that we did this one, it kind of runs along the back spine, and we also skeletonized them.
Yeah,
so
that is cool.
We drilled holes out of there. You don't need the full, you don't need to have a full piece of steel running through that. You can make it a whole lot lighter, and that's what keeps this thing at kind of a featherweight a lot. But I really like how they did that. It stiffens up the blade to a level that's appropriate for its use case, but also keeps it light so that it's not intrusive in your pockets.
Yeah, 2.3 ounces. I think that's the difference between Bryce and I. I'm fascinated by the wings on the handle, and you're fascinated by the liners, the thinned out liners. I'm like, ooh, cool wings.
But the liners, Ryan.
Yeah, but the liners.
Liners.
Yeah.
I love how everyone approaches knives. That's what's so cool. Everyone's point is valid on knives. That's what's so much fun of interacting with people on the world. You know, your view is completely valid on how to use this knife, and I want to hear it. That's what is really fun. So
well, that's what makes CRKT so unique, is we work with all of these different knife designers. So we're getting new innovative product on every single model. Is a completely one-off situation, right?
It's crazy. Whenever you get a new line, I like to just drop it in front of people who have no recognition, like see what jumps out to you.
Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah.
It's amazing about knives.
Yeah. And there's always
so
something
personal.
there, you know, exactly. You spread all the knives out, and people are always drawn to certain knives for certain reasons, you know, that they're drawn to. It's super cool. So, yeah, really excited about these. Richard Rogers design, the Sero. All right, what else we got, Bryce?
Next, we're going to be talking Michael Walker. We've been talking about Michael Walker a lot lately.
Yeah.
We've come out with a lot of premium offerings lately, really kind of attaching to Michael's artistic side of knife creation.
He's the lock man.
The lock man. I mean,
himself.
He is the reason that the liner lock was popularized.
That's so
he
cool.
Coined the term on top of so many other locks. Michael, we all stand on the shoulders of giants in the knife world. And you don't have to know, but I really love the history. The Knife Makers Guild, everything they did.
I couldn't tell.
Everything they did has come to support us and create the knife world that we have now. So we owe a lot to all the guys and gals that participated in that back in the day. Michael, hugely influential in that. It's amazing. He tells us stories about he'll get knives back, custom knives he made 20, 30 years ago, and he doesn't remember making the lock.
He was just pumping them out.
It's crazy.
Well, he was just doing one-offs at the time, right?
Yeah.
He would make one knife and then be done with it and on to the next project, right?
Some of his products take months to years to make, like the zipper knives, so cool.
Yeah.
This knife is the Fidus, so named as a Latin term for kind of loyal partner. And this knife is going to be a trusted partner, a really loyal companion for you. Really
What's interesting is this is actually what I've been carrying, my trusty companion.
I saw the pocket clip this morning, Ryan. I knew you had a Fidus in your pocket.
I just love this knife.
It's so good. Super slim overall. You're going to have 12C27 up front. We're talking about carbided steels. This is a low carbide steel, so it takes a super duper fine edge. Big fan of 12C27.
Love the blade shape.
Yeah, definitely having that little bit of a cutout up towards the front there. What's interesting about this one too is even though it was designed a long time ago, it still kind of has a bit of a front flipper, which you think of as kind of like a modern feature, but was being used.
That was the first take, everybody.
Yeah, as well as the thumb studs on there. Glass reinforced nylons. You have full steel inserts on the inside, so it's a very stiff knife overall. I like the little cutout he has towards the back. It turns out that the pinky is the smallest finger on the hand. And so you should make that part the smallest.
That's what I love about it. It just fits so comfy in my hand.
It does.
Yeah. Also the fidget factor. I just can't help myself. It's just the way the geometry is. I just flick it out.
Yeah.
I mean,
It reminds me of that original, like the 7096 CEO that had that great build up and throw.
Yep.
And that's what you get from those, like, that's the quality you get from these amazing knife makers.
Yeah, that's very true. I didn't make that connection. It really does. That's why I can't stop having it in my pocket because I just want to play with it all day.
Build up a bit of pressure and then you throw. It almost feels assisted, but isn't, which is great. It's got IKBS ball bearings, which help a lot. But as always, we're very excited to work with Michael. He's been extremely influential. If you've got a knife with a liner lock in your pocket, you can thank Michael Walker for popularizing that liner lock. So pretty cool. So if you see him out in the world, give him a little bump. Say thank you for the liner lock.
A little fist bump, maybe a little bro hug.
Yeah, he is the most. He doesn't seem to enjoy the attention as much, I feel like, but it's amazing what he's done.
Yeah, so maybe not
so humble, so humble with it, and so like as all they are, and really cool. So Fidus.
Awesome. All right, next we're moving on to the Slag. We have two different variations here. We just have the all stainless steel version, then we have the blacked out version. So this is just gonna be right down the middle, just great EDC knife with that assisted opening mechanism, D2 blade steel, super pointy blade shape, fits really well in the pocket, nice jimping on the hand. This is just something that is just gonna appeal to everybody. I mean, there's nothing to not like about this knife. Also great for engraving. You know, a lot of people, love who they work for and want to put their logo or, whatever, charity or anything that they're involved in, put your logo on it, customize it. This is super good for customizing. And this is designed by Russ Comer. He actually does most of our hunting knives, mostly fixed blades. So this is kind of a departure of what he normally does. But super cool. And then we have the all blacked out version as well. So you can see the difference here. And yeah, nothing not to like.
It's a great knife, really utilitarian. What we get out of Russ is generally more utilitarian focused on hunting.
Yep.
And so when he goes into more of an EDC model, you see that utilitarianism kind of transfer over. This is gonna be a great knife. Gentleman's knife will fit in your pocket, really simple, handle most everyday tasks.
Yep.
Another great knife from Russ.
Yep. Also, I like the name.
Yes, Slag.
It works for it.
Sounds industrial,
Yeah.
sounds utilitarian.
Yeah.
Names and design qualities seem to be that way. And it's great. It's a really cool knife.
Yep, awesome. Thank you, Russ.
Yeah.
All right.
Next up, we'll be talking about Matthew Lurch. So we've designed a lot with Matthew and MJ Lurch. Matthew has got a really cool artistic background in jewelry, and those kind of pieces are what he brings into knives. So he has beautiful utility. I'd encourage you to go check out his custom work. I'd encourage you to go check out all the custom works. If you didn't know, all of these are based off of custom. You can go find them and see what this is beautiful made off. And the Zypher was really designed after one of the most beautiful knives that he makes. Really slim and ornate. He does a lot of gold milling. He works with other really talented designers who have skills that are outside of his to kind of put into his knives. Really beautiful work, and we were very lucky to get this model, which we're calling the Zypher.
So this is his #1 most sold custom.
Okay, yeah, no doubt. Yeah, if you go look at the customs, you'll understand why.
They are gorgeous.
They're beautiful and ornate. I love his website. We were just talking about that, how straight to the point it is. He tells you exactly what he does. And man,
he's also a Harley guy, so he's
too.
pretty badass.
Yeah, just really cool. Really enjoy working with them. So we're very lucky to get the Zypher knife here. You got this full flat Wharncliffe style blade here. Really cool steppings along the whole thing. This one's got kind of an Art Deco kind of theme overall to it, which is really cool. I love the cutouts on the blade. Just give it a little bit of character along with this full kind of like stepped ridging and milling on the top there.
Yeah, it's even stepped on the handle as well, which is cool.
Further back, you got the G10, which has got all that beautiful step on there, the step designs. I like the pivot screw has been squared off. It's not just round, so that'll fit in there neatly.
It's a nice little
Hold
touch.
on, nice little touch.
Yeah.
Simple pocket clip in the back. This is a really fun knife, really simple, little flipper on the back there that hides, but doesn't take much to get that blade out there with the IKBS ball bearings. This model here is going to have D2. We have 2 other models as well that'll be in 14C 28N, and these are going to have more of a kind of, I was calling it a topographical G10 pattern on there.
Melted topo?
Yeah, melted topo. But you got that kind of cool wobbly pattern in the G10, which lends itself with the step patterns and connects overall. It makes it a really cool effect. So a couple different patterns there. You got the green and black with the black blade, and then you got the white on black with the black blade as well. These ones have slightly different steel. That one's going to have D2, and these ones are going to have 14C 28N. So
nice.
Talking about those fine steels again there too.
Upgraded steel.
So
yeah, this is really cool. Kind of like a tortoise shell slash melted topographic map. Yeah, it's just
this helps with a lot of different ideas there.
Yeah, it's really cool. But again, this blade shape, how cool is that?
Super precise too. If you're doing like office space cutting and stuff like that, which most of my cutting is nowadays, that's gonna be super precise, give you all the control you need. Yeah, really fine point there. I love choking up on blades, and when you have something that's like a nice little corner there, it's opening boxes makes it real simple.
Just that letter.
Just a little simple. So this is a really fun knife, really lightweight, gentleman's carry knife there. And just a beautiful example of what we do here at CRKT, taking custom knives, all of the mind and knowledge that went into creating these and creating them in something that's is affordable.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So
Thank you, Lurch.
Yes.
Okay, next we got Richard Rogers Q Compact. So we've had success with some higher end Qs and some Q Compacts over the past couple years. Richard has done a lot of work for us over, I would say 5-6 years. So we're leaning into some of his better selling designs. So we have the Q Compact with this crossbar lock. This has a full length fuller on it, or maybe a nail nick back flicker. I'm not going to do that. Maybe Bryce can try it. I'm not gonna embarrass myself on film. But this is just great EDC, compact enough but still fits in the hand nicely. Shrunken down crossbar lock. You can purchase it really nicely. It's sitting just proud enough where you can, get your fingers on it and flick it open with ease. And then we have the black with that stone wash look to it. We have this off-white color with the stone wash, and then we have a couple of black blades here with that kind of rustic red. And then seafoam green.
Seafoam green.
So just really cool look to it with the black hardware. You can see just a nice sturdy pocket clip on the back. These are going to be 14C 28N on all the models, so a really nice slicey steel. 2.2 ounces in weight. Yeah, I mean, just a great EDC, compact, Richard Rogers design, and solid.
Everything Richard's about, clean designs. Everything Richard does is to make it as clean as possible, and this knife really kind of hits that there. The full-size Q is one of my closest friends now. It finds its way into my pocket all the time. It's a perfect knife for me. It handles everything it could possibly throw at it. I could take it out and make feather sticks, or I could put it in a suit and it looks nice. So I'm not afraid to take that knife anywhere, which I love. I want a knife that can handle just about everything. These smaller ones are lightweight and fun and fidgety, like you were saying. Having that full length nail nick there gives you a lot to purchase if you want to open it from the front or the back, and really kind of touches on Richard's design principles. He takes very clean modern designs, but he also likes to push in old school like slip joint designs. We see that like on the Venandy was a good example from him.
Yeah.
You see that little hint here with that full length kind of nail nick or fuller, however you want to describe it. But really cool, clean overall design, just a good, solid knife.
When you see it, it just screams Richard Rogers.
Yeah, man, so great. Yeah, really fun knife. Really like the high-end.
There you go.
A lot of fun, fidgetiness.
Oh yeah.
Fidget toys for big boys.
Sucks in nicely too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fidget spinners are so silly. I mean, we already had this figured out. We already had it. We didn't need that whole craze. I mean,
get knives in these kids' hands. Come on.
There's thousands of fidget spinners sitting in retailers, coast to coast. When we already had this figured out, guys. Come on, what are we doing?
Awesome. So this is the Q Compact.
All right. Next knife is something that's very near and dear to CRKT's heart. It is the Razel blade shape, designed by John Graham. We've been designing Razels for a number of years. They were one of the knives that I really enjoyed before I worked at CRKT. I used to look at the ring
big
Razel.
Fat Razel. Yeah, the ring Razel.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dude, the ring Razel, and then there was the machete version, which was sharpened on the back, the front, and the side. It was awesome. Every edge had ill intent, and I wanted it so bad.
Wow.
Man, I'm gonna have to go talk to product design after this. We need to get that Razel back. But
Bryce at 16 years old,
just
full of energy and pre-workout.
Just ogling CRKT Razel designs. But this is a really great option. We had a couple fixed blade versions come out. We've also had some folders in the GT.
Yep.
These are really unique pieces in that they're fixed blades meant to fit in your pocket. That's been kind of a trend we've seen in the industry in general.
Pocket clip.
And John had designed these sheaths to do just that. So you have a pocket clip up here, which would slide into your pants, and the little hook will hook on the back of your pant material, and you can kind of push with your finger to pull the blade out. So you have a fixed blade, you have all of the security that a fixed blade would provide to you. So we've got D2 steel up front. And what is a Razel? It's a cross between a chisel and a razor. So we've got this is a full expression of the Razel. The Razel has been expressed in a couple different variations. Sometimes we'll kick this edge back in sort of a true reverse tanto. We'll debate that one later. But this is a full straight off, squared off Razel. And John had originally designed this mostly for auto techs.
Perfect for scraping.
Scraping gaskets, scraping stickers. You have to ream PVC. That kind of edge does a really good job at that.
Yeah.
Beyond that, you essentially just have a full flat kind of edge there on the front. So couple different cutting options with the Razel. Good solid jimping up front, gives you a good purchase. Further back we have these orange G10 handles on top of the black, which give it kind of a high visibility kind of look over top, especially too with the bright orange lanyard on the back.
Hit it with the pinky, fits nicely in the hand.
Yeah, this
nice
one fits. This one's a full size, so you have that full front size blade, and then we have the more compact version too. As we're talking about the alterations that happen to a Razel, this is a good example of it, where that front edge gets kicked back and creates just a much more wicked point. So,
and what do you got on the top there, Bryce?
Those are some flap top vefts. If you don't,
that is not jimping.
Yeah, do not put your finger there. This is a flat top vest. If you don't already know, veft serrations are some of the best cutting serrations on the market. They really just shred cordage. We're gonna have a good example of that here, talking about in a bit. These flat top vefts, we kind of cut off the top there, protect the cutting edge, and give you a little bit of extra utility if you want to flip the knife over and you need to saw through something or get through some cordage, something along those lines. This model's a little bit more compact, so your pinky will hang off there, so lanyard does double duty, not only being visibility, but also giving you some purchase there for your something for your pinky to hold on to. A little bit more compact version overall, but it is also set up with a similar style of sheath to fit in your pocket, so you can carry a fixed blade. And this is kind of an easier way for me to carry a fixed blade. I've tried some of the different methods, Ranger carry and up front, and I really do still kind of enjoy this pocket carry. You could take this clip off and put an Ulti clip on there. I'm a big fan of Ulti clips. So
you never know what Bryce is carrying daily.
I always try to change it up. It's got a constant rotation.
What's going on? Do you have a machete on your side? Like, what is that? Answering emails.
No, that's just a pocket-friendly folding tactical tomahawk.
Oh, that's what that is.
Always fun. That's what's great about knives. You always got something new, and these Razels, really enjoy them. We're keeping John Graham's legacy alive in the CRKT lineup. I really enjoy the Razel products. Really cool stuff.
Thank you, John Graham.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, so next we have, I don't even want to say up and coming anymore because this guy is here. Princeton Wong. This guy's winning awards. He's selling out. I just saw him at Blade West, sold out his booth in like 5 minutes.
Crazy.
Just coming out with really cool, unique products. So this is the Orochi. So this is going to be a nice full size, just thick liners, fits really well in the hand. really unique blade shape with that recurve. Just looks nasty.
Oh, yeah, Princeton has got a clean design. You know, the Fial won a Blade Show Award, really beautiful in the way that he had kind of merged a wine key in a high-end knife. And this, I think, is the toughest knife we've gotten out of Princeton Wong. It's got an edge to it, pardon the pun.
Ooh.
And what's interesting about that, Orochi...
Get that in your hand.
Orochi, the name comes from Japanese mythology. Princeton often uses anime as inspiration. Some of our other knives. This one's inspiration came from a Japanese legend of Orochi, which is a 8-headed dragon, mythological, who was causing chaos down in the world. A brave soul came and cut his heads off, and from there they got a sword, which is one of Japanese, a piece of Japanese culture and tradition, one of the royal, I believe, items that they have there. So a lot of mythology comes from this.
You've done your homework.
Dragons. It's a lot, yeah. I've had a deep dive into Japanese mythology, and I probably didn't do a very good job apologizing. I didn't do a good job, but a really cool idea, and you can see where it came from. If you go look at some of the Japanese pictures of this, it is a really just mythical and really just beast-like creature. Really
It's a
cool.
beast-like knife.
And I think that's where he got a lot of the inspiration. So this is kind of the first like tough knife we've gotten out of there. And I love the design. You're totally right about the blade. Just that kind of like the way it ends there with that little extra right before that choil or the sharpening choil there really allows to look just extra neat.
Yeah, super cool. 14C28N
Yeah.
on the blade steel. G10 with the stainless steel bolster.
Great.
I love the milling, the cutouts on the handle.
Just cool.
I mean, badass.
Yeah.
Thank you, Princeton.
Prince has made a real splash in the knife world, especially
he
the last
has.
couple of years. Especially if you're at any blade show, you know who Princeton is.
Yeah, and just the quality on this piece. Like you pick it up and it just feels substantial, sturdy. Yeah, it feels really nice.
Yeah, it's a great knife.
Super cool.
Fun knife.
All right. Next we have Kayla Cummings, the Burrower.
Awesome.
So really unique. Kayla is one of, I don't know any other knife designer that we have that still pounds steel. Like literally.
Elmer Rausch.
Okay, excuse me. Sorry, Elmer.
Can't forget about Elmer.
Yeah, can't forget about Elmer.
But you're right. It's rare.
Yeah, most of these guys are using CNC. Well, I mean, but each their own, right?
Sure.
It's but still, it's just fascinating that you're just literally pounding out steel and you're coming out with cool, unique fixed blades like this. The ergonomics are fantastic. Great micarta. Really cool kind of texturing on here, so it fits really nice in the hand. This is just kind of like a crossover camp knife, hunting knife, do-it-all knife. I mean, I've been showing this off, and people are really drawn to this, not only by that, upswept kind of clip point look to it, but just the feel. It just feels really good, and you feel really confident holding this knife. Also, you have the sheath that you have the pocket clip on here, so you can carry it just like an EDC knife. It does have D2 blade steel. Again, has that nice micarta handle. Just a really quality piece, hitting a great price point as well. And then, yeah.
Yeah. Kayla's a really fascinating person. She's a repeat contestant on Naked and Afraid, which is quite a survival show. I prefer clothed and comfortable, personally. I don't think I'm going to find my way onto that show. But Kayla, very accomplished.
I'm too much of a wuss.
Yeah, she's it's amazing. She's been on multiple times, and like you touched on, her designing techniques are very organic and flowy. She starts out with hot steel, starts working it, and the knife kind of emerges, and that's really cool. I love
it's like a true artist.
Yeah, I love the organic shape of her blades. The Bugsies were some of the first ones we got to do with Kayla and partner with to make in the United States. And this is a great follow-up. Big belly. It's going to be a great all-around, like you said. You could use it for skinning, use it around camp. And a really nice sheath too. I love how it's got the thumb push there, kind of harkens back. And we're talking about how we're on the back of Giants, and Bob Dozier back in the day making sheaths with a little thumb push, and it's ubiquitous now.
Yeah,
really great stuff.
It really is.
Yeah. Kayla did a really good job with that Burrower.
Yeah, awesome, great piece.
Definitely. All right. Next up, Alan Foltz with the Minimalist.
What do we got here?
And Minimalists have been with us for a long time. One of the most popular neck knives on the market.
Let's talk about that handle. That thing is popping.
Wow, yeah, that layered G10 really comes out. I kind of thought it looked like sort of like a poncho or something. Maybe that's just my Southern California showing with ponchos and surf culture. But
You are from Orange County.
like you can tell. Really cool minimalist. So this one's actually one of the designs we've done previously in the day in this Wharncliffe design.
Yeah, super
very
useful,
simple.
light shape.
Flipped over D2 steel on here, so a good upgrade for the minimalist series. So it'll be a little bit tougher. What minimalists are really amazing about is the ergonomics. I think they're all just a miracle of ergonomics. I put this in almost everybody's hand and it fits perfectly.
Yeah.
To make something like that is just incredible. And the whole storyline around the minimalist, Alan had an old piece of steel with 3 holes in it, and he cut it into 2, and that's what led to the minimalist.
He didn't want to waste this scrap piece of steel.
And Alan is
insane.
He's meticulous. He's got a beautiful shop that's set up perfectly for flow.
Yeah.
Really cool. He turns out his minimalist designs, you can see at blade shows. Really cool. And we've had other stuff from Alan. All his folders are amazing.
The Ritual.
The Ritual, which I love. I love the change between this beautiful, simple, utilitarian, and then this big, exotic sweeping blade.
Yeah.
So cool. Just the wide breadth and skill talent of
He's
Alan
so cool too, and he gives back to the knife community. You know, he does like workshops. Like people actually come to his shop, and he teaches them how to make knives, and it's just super cool.
This year he 3D printed caliper holders and was giving them out to people. So he had this little thing you could put on your wall and hold your calipers. I thought that was so cool, and he was giving it out to new knife makers at Blade Show.
That's cool. See, just stuff like that. It's awesome.
How they support each other, really cool. You had a great addition to the minimalist line.
Yeah, solid guy. Great chef as well.
Oh, I have yet to have the chance to try Alan's food, but I don't doubt it.
Awesome. Okay, so next we have our box key. This is a really unique piece designed by Richard Rogers. And so kind of looks like a dog tag a little bit. If you flip it around to the other side, that is the pocket clip. Maybe doubles as a money clip.
Yeah, definitely.
My money clip, because I've got like $1. so it works for me. I don't know about anybody else, but that is just a really cool feature. And then has this full length fuller here, kind of gives it a nice aesthetic. This is going to be stainless steel with 12C27 blade steel. Yeah, just a really cool design, and Bryce is going to nerd out right now and talk about the locking mechanism because he's better at it than I am.
I'm going to do my best to describe the locking mechanism here.
Okay, take it away.
What's really cool about how Richard decided to design this is he actually has a spring between the pivot and the blade. So that spring is actually pushing the blade this way down. Underneath that, between the frame and the blade, are 4 detent balls. Normally you'd have 1 detent ball that would kind of catch on this. This one has 4, so when a knife is moving, it actually is up on top of those, and they work almost as a bearing. So it's going to dance around until it catches all 4 of those. 4 pivot holes inside will grab those and sink back down as that spring pushes it back into place. And you can feel it. If you would get this knife and you kind of hold it up, this is not going to translate well, but you can see those detent balls in there. So there's that half stop there as it connects, and then it will connect again as it's back in there. I hope I did a good job.
What he said.
There's a spring holding it down, multiple detent balls. This is a unique new mechanism from Richard.
Yeah.
It's the first time we've seen this.
Yeah, and talk about it, because Richard didn't want to put it on his customs, right? Because he didn't want anybody to know about this locking mechanism, essentially. And this is the first time it's actually been introduced to the world.
Yeah, so really excited to have this on the box key.
Yeah.
Cool new mechanism, cool new way to use something that's existed and repurposed. And you see this a lot in the knife world, using mechanisms and repurposing them in different ways. Yeah. And this is a fun little knife. It can fit in that 5th hole or 5th pocket on your jeans, or it can work as a money clip for you and your singles.
Yeah, for me.
No, it would work fine as a full-edge money clip too, but really cool knife. I love to see the kind of innovation, simple innovation like that. Really fun and something to talk about when you pull this knife out.
Yeah.
Cool.
Box key. Box key. Oh, this is Bryce's baby right here.
We're gonna test your color naming again here.
Okay, all right, teal.
We have some new additions to the Bear Claw line. Bear Claw has been with us since the early 2000s and actually started its life as a self-defense blade, which is still in the line, but I think has really found its home as a rescue knife. Up here in the Pacific Northwest, we're kind of in whitewater playground, so a lot of options for whitewater, and one of these is always on my PFD. The Bear Claw is just naturally lends itself to that situation just through its overall design. The big point here obviously being the kind of the finger hole there. Once you have this in your hand, it is very hard to let go, and also feels like an extension of your hand. This just feels like another finger.
That looks like your index finger.
I know exactly where this blade is. I know exactly what's going on. So in a panic situation, you're in cold water, your hands are cold, but if you need to do a rescue operation,
the Deschutes is cold.
it's very cold all year round. I can attest to that.
Yeah, me too.
And
I've fallen in.
and so this one, you can pull it off your PFD. You got that extension. If you're hooked up in cordage, these VEF serrations, as we had touched on earlier, really shred rope. It's one of our fun demos that we like to do. It's pretty impressive how these will just tear through rope. AUS 8 steel, that'll hold really well. The sheath is also innovative. It uses this screw here as a retaining device on the sheath, which can be mounted easily to your PFD, on the shoulder strap, in the main pouch, however you choose to mount it. But we find a lot of use cases. Anyone who works around cordage in general should have some way to get out of the cordage. Rock climbers, anybody who's doing any sort of rigging, even some fishermen now with some of the braided lines now that get to such high tests can become a real problem if you're in the wrong situation. So having a knife like this is very useful and very necessary for safety.
Well, and don't be bashful, because you actually resurrected this this knife.
Well, I'm a strong believer in it. I think we have the best whitewater tool here. I think we really do. It's a great safety tool.
I just had a customer in Austria or something reaching out, like that they wanted to set up an account with us because this knife is so well known worldwide now, which is insane.
And we've worked well with other pros in the industry to kind of like work on situations and make this more ideal for their use cases. This year, the big change is going to be color. So we added a lot of colors. We see the trends in PFDs and boats and inflatables.
Bright, loud.
And then on top of that, it just helps with visibility. You drop your knife in the water, this will stand out and be easier for you to find, or an emergency, easy to grab onto. So really like the bear claws. If you're into whitewater, you'll really enjoy using this product. I'd encourage everyone to go out and try it on a piece of rope too. But really great tool, and we're excited to have them now in fun, bright colors.
All right.
So bear claw.
High biz, baby. All right, thank you, Bryce. All right, what is CRKT known for? Not only innovation, designers coming out with cool new products, but the M16. The M16 line is essentially what keeps the lights on here at CRKT and what has built CRKT and is the foundation. So we have 3 new models. We have this really cool desert sand look. So this is going to be the O2XD. This is going to be Grivery material on the handle. We have a crossbar lock, and then we have D2 blade steel. So just fits really well in the hand, super easy to open. And then we have the middle size, which is going to be the O3. So you can see it's a little bit longer, stretched out with that spear point blade to it. I really like this size just for comfort and use case for me personally. So again, in that desert sand. And then we have the 14, which is the big dog here, all blacked out. Crossbar lock, we have our VEF serrations, which Bryce was talking about, which is we feel like the #1 serrations in the market, hands down. Cuts through fibrous material. Rather than a sawing motion, more of a slashing motion. Really will cut through any cordage or anything like that. And then you have your crossbar lock. This definitely has some weight to it. So yeah, it has that nice drop shut action. So fits really well in the hand. And yeah, thank you, Kit Carson, for coming out with just an amazing product that we're continuing to evolve and come out with new M16s every single year.
Yeah, really cool addition, modernization to the M16 design. As we talk about how we're built on the backs of giants, Kit Carson and the hole pattern of the M16 was one of the original examples of lightening a blade through using kind of the hole in the handle techniques. And that kind of hole pattern has become iconic for the M16. Other cool little touches too, like the textured pivot screws meant to, if your knife gets loose, you can stick your finger in there, really tighten it down in a pinch. Even the thumb studs on these ones, M16 fans, the thumb stud usually works as more of a backstop, but in this case, you can actually get to the thumb stud and use it, which is pretty cool. So taking that M16, adding a fun new mechanism, really fun.
So not on these particular models, but the finger flipper actually was designed on the first M16 thanks to Kit Carson.
Popularized it, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. I mean,
there's none there, which is kind of a weird takeaway. Yeah, it's kind of different. And that's the thumb stud being kind of like the main deployment outside of the crossbar, sort of open. But yeah, Kit's legacy lives on. The M16 is a pillar of just quality construction and can take a beating. It's a loyal partner. It's been deployed all around the globe and continues to find its way into pockets.
Every single trade show that we go to, people will literally come up with their busted up M16 that they've had for years and years and years. That's their trusty companion. They carry it everywhere. They love it. You know, it's just a really cool conversation starter. And yeah, this has been carried overseas countless times.
Yeah, that's my favorite thing, when somebody gets to show you that old, worn down M16. Been with them everywhere. That is the cool story. I want to hear your M16 stories, so let us know. Definitely very cool.
Oh, we got some more new M16s.
Yeah, speaking of keeping Kit Carson's legacy alive and while modernizing it, we have a really cool addition to the CRKT line. This is the first Balisong that we have ever created, and we use the M16 as a design base to do so.
I want to see you do it. You a Bally boy?
I am not a big Bally kid. I love watching it. Blade Show is the coolest thing to see all of everyone like cloistered together, just like flipping all their Ballies. The Bally competition that's put on there is so cool. There's so many resources. I think it's YouTube has really opened this up, right?
These kids are insane.
Yeah.
Like the most insane tricks I've ever seen.
Yeah. As you can tell, I'm much more utilitarian. I'll practice with this, so I'll try to be better by the time I get out there. Yeah. But a really cool use case for the M16. And with the way we design these, as you were kind of touching on, Balisongs have really cool exotic flipping mechanisms, and there's a whole go watch videos on these people who are really talented. It's really entertaining. This one is meant as a user. We wanted to make a knife too that would be kind of matched not only that constant companion of the M16, but bring in the fun fidgetiness of the butterfly knife. So we've got a bail on the back that we'll throw over the handles to keep them together. From there, you've got a solid purchase on the knife. Dual hilts too, which harken to the M16 design. Yeah. These ones both are going to feature MagnaCut steel, so really high performance steel on both of them. And we're going to have two blade shapes, kind of traditional style drop point blade here, and then this one has got a more Americanized Tonto. So kind of two different blade shapes. So really cool to see the connections from the M16 line, everything that was popular there, and how we merged it into the butterfly design.
Talk about the evolution of the M16.
I mean, the M16 has been around. It's kind of funny. I wish, you know, going back in the day, there's so many M16s. It's fun to see some that, like, I'm still surprised. Like, I'll get some, they're way before my time, and I didn't remember making, you know, the titanium one, the carbon fiber, the green one, all the different kind of versions that have come out over the years. And it's really fun to see. And now this will be one of the most unique versions, I think. Definitely. Really fun, fidgety, simple to get together and click on, and now you got a great using knife.
Also got a pocket clip on here.
Pocket clip, so that was exactly to try to make it more on that functional side, make it more like a traditional pocket clip knife. Just sits in your pocket really simply and deploys in a fun method.
Awesome. M16 Bally. Okay, next we have our HangPry, designed by Richard Rogers. This is a really cool pry tool. We have two different options here. This is full titanium. So this has definitely been a trend over the past couple of years in the EDC world, using titanium. And this is just a really useful tool. Yeah. You can open boxes with it, you can scrape, you can open your can of soda. Yeah,
we learned that, I know CRKT fans are a big fan of Rochelle, who works there in our quality control department. Yeah. And she taught me that's a lot of different use cases for this. If you have nails on, maybe we'll do the video where we slap some temporary nails on Ryan and watch him try to open different things. But that's an idea for the future. Yeah. But great use case, opening cans, opening paint containers, scraping. This one's got enough edge on there that you could totally cut open a box if you wanted.
I mean, yeah, that's pretty pointy.
Very clean overall design too. You can tell it's a Richard Rogers design with how clean and simple he made it.
Super clean. You
can put that on a keychain if you want. You can have it float in your pocket. You got this cool sort of balled up helix design here, almost a monkey fist. I forget exactly. It's been a little while since my paracord days, so I don't remember all the names of the knots.
You were a Boy Scout. That is actually really cool.
Yeah, so a really fun thing. Pry bars are something you add to your EDC, you'll find a use for it. I do the same sort of evangelization with knives and people who aren't carrying them. I promise you, let me get the knife in your pocket, give it a week, you'll use it, and you'll be a bona fide card-carrying knife user. So I encourage like all these different kind of tools, try them in your pocket. The Provoke X is a good addition. I never thought about carrying around a tomahawk, but my destructive abilities escalate exponentially with that on me. So really cool thing. And titanium, you're right, Ryan. Titanium is just cool.
It's cool. I mean, look at that. Look how cool that is.
It's undeniably cool. I come from like the ultralight backpacking world, and titanium is undeniably cool. Yeah. It's more than just a strength to weight ratio. It's just cool.
It's almost mystical.
You'll catch me, some of my old roommates used to catch me anodizing titanium on a Friday night. They come back in with a bunch of batteries and sequence and the borax solution. I'm anodizing things. They're really fun. You could even do that on this plain one if you wanted to get into it.
That's before your girlfriend, right?
She's very supportive.
Okay. Take it or leave it. I'm still going to anodize. This is me.
This is who I am. We're really excited to get the HangPry. We have the HangTighs too from Richard, which were titanium blades. And the cool, like, yet another cool use for titanium. Rockwell's lower than steel, which is a fun fact that stumped me. Yeah. But back, not since my spearfishing days have I had so many titanium tools on me. So it's pretty cool. Nice. Really excited about that.
Awesome.
HangPry.
Cool, and I think we're wrapping it up, huh? Last one,
yes.
But not least, this thing is awesome.
So last item we want to talk about is the ToGo Driver. So this is designed by Scout Tools. So really cool design for a driver. We've had a couple different drivers, a couple different evolutions, and I think this one kind of takes all of them and merges them into one cool driver.
Joe Wu is awesome.
Yeah, Joe Wu's got his thumb on the pulse for tools. This is all aluminum build, so it's very lightweight. You've got a bearing on the back here, so when you're using it as a driving tool, it can still rotate in your hand. Big, chunky design on the front too that just feels good, really fits into your hand really well. And this tool is hiding another secret inside of it.
No way.
If you start to unscrew it, inside it houses a bunch of different micro bits. What? So hopefully that'll come out here. You have 7 bits in total in there. Micro bits have kind of grown in popularity in the knife world because they're a little bit smaller. They were already popular in photography and other areas where you needed a smaller size Torx bit.
It comes with the adapter.
Comes with the adapter as well. So the adapter will fit inside. If you don't want it, or if you're using standard shanked bits.
Okay.
But if you're using these micro bits, you come with the adapter. It goes in the front, and you got your micro bits in the back. Will go right in there.
Nice. You got some Torx, flathead, Phillips,
and a micro Phillips. So all the popular Torx sizes for our knives are going to be included in here. So any sort of knife maintenance you need to do, ready to go. These are really nice German-made Weha bits. Nice. So those are pretty much the standard when it comes to Torx bits in the industry. But you're going to carry them all around here. I've been carrying around the original designs with all the bits loose for so long. Housing it all in one just really is an advantage. I try to always compact all of my gear into as small as possible. And so this is going to help me kind of shrink that kit even smaller. Be able to carry around even smaller knife pouch to shows and stuff like that. But we love the trend of people taking care of their tools. We make tools that are meant to last. Everything we make has a lifetime warranty on it. We want you to take care of your tools, use our parts system on our website, use our lifetime warranty. But in the middle, you're going to need to tighten a pivot or two. This is a live joint. You're going to have to maintain it. So a device or tool like this will help you. I remember back in the day having to go find Torx bits. It was kind of hard. I remember going to Sears in the auto section and trying to find them. Now it's a little bit more ubiquitous and easier to find, but I kind of remember back in the day having trouble finding them. But this kind of tool is just awesome. It lends itself perfectly to knife maintenance. Yeah, really great evolution of the tools in our line.
Take care of your tools, ladies and gentlemen.
They are. They're meant to last, so awesome. Really cool. ToGo.
Awesome. Well, we have some really exciting stuff for 2026. We have, obviously, our great design roster coming out with new innovative products every single year, and 2026 is definitely a standout year for us. For more information, you can go to crkt.com and click on any product that you want to see, and you can see specs, obviously the price, you can add to cart and purchase the knife there. So before we sign off, anything else, Bryce?
Nope. Appreciate it.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody. Till next time.